And again, I really believe that passivity is one of the real requirements of prayer. And I hope that you can become passive, so that you can ascend the cross and cross the bridge, as St. Catherine said. That you may look into the heart of Christ, that you may hear him, and simply to be passive. You don't have to do anything here. Just be in God's presence. And St. Therese, of course, she's a little girl for most of the time that she writes her autobiography. She says in this very profound way, I had offered myself for some time now to the child Jesus for his little plaything. And she goes on to say, Jesus dreamed that he was still playing with his toy, leaving it and taking it up in turns. And having seen it roll for quite some time, he pressed it to his heart, no longer allowing it to ever go far from his hand. You understand now, dear mother, her mother superior, how sad the little ball was when seeing itself on the ground. Nevertheless, I never ceased hoping against all hope. That we are little playthings of Jesus. That is how passive we are. That the little baby Jesus, in her reckoning, just simply plays with us. He simply brings us and holds us to his heart like a child holds his beloved toy. Now, we're not toys of God. That's not what she's saying. But that how we are beloved in him. How close he holds us to his heart. And another great image that I always like to talk about in St. Therese is that when she went to Paris on her pilgrimage to Rome, she stayed in a very nice hotel. And that hotel had elevators, which for the time was a great innovation. Of course, we don't think of it now. We just get on the elevator and push the button. But for her, that was a great novelty at the time. And for St. Therese, she said that the grace of God is much like getting on the elevator. And all you have to do is step on it, and it brings you up to the heights of the hotel. And it is again my dear hope for you folks, that you in your passivity will simply listen to the words of Jesus Christ. You will simply get to know these people. You will simply get to understand the great love that he has for you, and to be passive. I want you to think of this weekend like going to the beach. When you want to get a tan, all you have to do, I don't tan, I turn red. But when you go to the beach, all you have to do is to sit there and bask in the sun. And that is exactly what you are here to do this weekend. Do not overthink it. Don't overwork it. Simply make yourselves available to listen to the words of these saints. Imitate them as they have imitated Christ. And I guarantee and promise you that you will grow closer to him. Leave those things of the world behind at the bottom of this mountain. Climb onto that elevator. Become the little plaything of Jesus Christ. Get to know yourselves, your friends, your faith, and your Lord in an even more profound way. So that you may take that light of looking into the side of Christ, into his most sacred heart, into being pressed close to him like that little toy, to the heart of baby Jesus. And you may come from this place and people will look at you and say, where have you been? There is something different about you. Just like when you come back from the beach, people say, where have you been? You look great. May you come from this spiritual beach. May you come from the top of this mountain. And may you bring that light and that experience of Jesus Christ to people. Because that is what will happen. Is as we are watered, so we will begin to bring that water of life and peace and redemption to those people who are very, very thirsty at the bottom of this mountain. This is a great opportunity for all of you. It's a great opportunity for me to join you here this weekend. Put yourselves in the silence, at least for part of this weekend, so you may hear the words of Jesus Christ. Prayer is primarily about passivity. And these women, although they were extremely active in their earthly ministries, so much so that St. Catherine of Siena said to the Pope, come back to Rome. So much so that St. Teresa of Avila reformed the order. So much so that St. Therese wanted to go and be a missionary, and she wanted to go be a priest, and she wanted to go be a Swiss Guard, and all these other things. That they wanted to be active in their ministry. A good portion of their lives, all three of these women, were spent simply being watered by the grace of Jesus Christ. By listening to the words of his mouth. By being pressed close to his chest, as St. Therese gives us an image. And so go from this place, and during this weekend, no matter how that has to manifest itself, and simply let yourselves be pressed to the heart of Jesus Christ, who loves you so very much that there is nothing he doesn't love about you. There is nothing he can't and won't love. He loves you no matter what your history. He loves you no matter what your past. He loves you no matter how many times you failed or how many times you succeeded. He just simply loves you. May you bask for these next 2 days in His love, so that you never have to be separated from Him. You never have to be separated even within yourself or from others. And it is only when we learn to love that we in turn can love others. You can't get what you don't have. That's one of the things that one of my formation directors used to tell me all the time back in Rome. If we can't receive the love of God because of this shame or this sin or something like that, there is no way that we're ever going to give it away. And He gives us this love in great and vast amounts. I want to leave you with one last thing, and it's my absolute favorite thing about St. Catherine. It's my favorite quote. She says, if you were to take all the sins of humanity, all of them that have ever been done, all of them that are being done right now, and any sin that will ever happen in the future till the end of time, and you compare them to the love of God, it would be like taking a drop of vinegar and dropping it into the ocean. That is how vast His mercy and His love is. Let Him tell you that this weekend. And know that there is nothing He won't love and can't love and doesn't love. There's nothing you can do to lose it. There's nothing you have to do to earn it. Simply do what Jesus does for us in the Eucharist. And remember what the Eucharist is. The Eucharist's primary mission to us is presence. The Eucharist makes Jesus present to us. Make yourself present.